Hey guys, it's Mr. Hussey, 6th grade test prep. A couple things that will help you on tomorrow's test. This distributive property is very important. It's going to come up a lot of times. In fact, like I'm seeing that it will come up at least 4 different times. The distributive property goes like this. Okay, 6 times 2y is 12y plus 6 times x is 6x. Okay, so that's one way to write the distributive property. Then sometimes I would take down all these notes if I were you. This might take 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes you'll see the distributive property like this. Okay. So if you see it like this, they may write it like 6 times 3 plus 6 times 4. Or they could also write it as like 18 plus 24. So they could write it like that and stop at that step. They could write it like that. Or they could write it like, what's 18 plus 24? What's that, 42? Or they could write it like that. So just be aware of the distributive property will come up multiple times on this test. And just make sure you can recognize it like this, 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 or this. Sometimes when it deals with letters, you'll have to write it out like this. So 12y plus 6x. That's also in your notes. This test is going to be very important to look at your notes. Your notes will be very important. You may not use a friend. You may not use your parents. You may not use a sibling. You can use your notes. You can use a calculator. Okay? And actually, you can ask me one question too. And I'll give you a hint on one question if you email me or find out a way to ask me, okay? The test is due Thursday. We'll have a new lesson Friday, so if someone's really stressed out, maybe I can make your test due Friday, but you will have another math lesson Friday. So please try to finish your test by Thursday. Make sure you show all your work. You'll have to show some work for each problem on separate paper, or if you print this thing out, you can print this out and show it on that. Another thing that will come up is on number 11. I'm going to give you a hint. Okay, so like Bella and Maddie Cook alluded to this, but they had a certain question on their study guide that looked a little different than some of you guys, probably because I posted 2 different documents. But you're going to have one like this. And the way you would do this is you would go 3 to the 2nd power times, and then it would be 4 to the, there's 5 of them, so 4 to the 5th. Okay. Now, that's how that would work out. So on your test, you'll have one similar to that on number 11, not the same numbers. Okay, for the word equivalent, that's going to pop up a lot on your test. Equivalent means equal to. And the word equation will pop up on number 20. And make sure you know that an equation has an equal sign. All right? If I didn't give you those hints right there, I think some of you guys might get a little stressed out on those problems, but hopefully those hints. Distributive property, use your notes, go back to your notes, especially the notes on the properties, okay, like the associative property of addition and the commutative property of multiplication. Please refer back to those notes. The equivalent and equation, make sure you look at those definitions, this hint, and you guys should be okay on your test. There are a lot of PEMDAS questions. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. There's one question that gives you like a sentence, 3 times the sum of a number and 7, all divided by 4. So you'll have to do like, 3n plus 6 over 2 or something like that. Now that's not it, but give you a hint for that. These definitions here, you'll have to go back to your notes, right, on the study guide. This is a study guide question, the one where it pointed to different parts and showed you the different aspects of the equation. There'll be your PEMDAS questions. Okay, a couple PEMDAS questions here. Which expression is equivalent? Equivalent means equal to. All right, and it's only a 20 question, and then all these properties. So you have to go back, make sure you look at your notes for the properties. All right. Like I said, you can post one question for me and I'll help you out a little bit. Please view this before you take your test. And God bless you guys. Have a nice day.